The bar had no name. It sat at the edge of New Horizon Colony, a small building made of metal sheets and recycled ship parts. Inside, the lights were dim. The air smelled of cheap alcohol and old cigarettes. It was the kind of place where people came to forget. Commander Marcus Cole sat alone in the corner. His table had one glass, one bottle, and nothing else. He did not want company. He did not want conversation. He wanted silence. 8 months ago, the Kethvari War ended. Humanity had won. The news channels called it the greatest victory in human history. They showed parades, celebrations, and politicians giving speeches about peace and prosperity. They did not show the cost. Marcus looked at his right arm. It was made of metal now. Dark gray plates covered synthetic muscles. The fingers moved when he wanted them to move. But they felt nothing. No warmth. No cold. No pain. He sometimes missed the pain. The real arm was gone. It was floating somewhere in space, along with the bodies of his squad. 12 soldiers. His family. His responsibility, all gone in the final assault on the Kethvari homeworld. He remembered their faces. Sergeant Yuki Tanaka, who always smiled before battle. Private Chen, who was only 19. Lieutenant Okafor, who showed everyone pictures of his newborn daughter. Marcus carried their names like stones in his chest. The military wanted to give him medals. He refused. The media wanted interviews. He refused. Command offered him promotions, new assignments, training positions. He refused everything. The war was over. His war was over. There was nothing left. Marcus raised his glass and drank. The liquid burned his throat. Good. He wanted to feel something. The door of the bar opened. Marcus did not look up. Footsteps approached his table. Still, he did not look. Probably some drunk looking for a seat. Or a journalist who had tracked him down. Either way, they would leave when they saw his face. Commander Cole. The voice was familiar. Too familiar. Marcus finally raised his eyes. Admiral Chen stood before him. She was a small woman with gray hair and sharp eyes. Her uniform was perfect, every button polished, every ribbon in place. She had commanded the human fleet during the war. She had sent Marcus and his squad on their final mission. She had also written the letters to their families. Admiral, Marcus said. His voice was rough from disuse. I am retired. No. Admiral Chen said. She sat down across from him without asking permission. You are on extended leave. There is a difference. The difference does not matter to me. It matters to me. The Admiral folded her hands on the table. Her eyes studied Marcus with something that might have been concern. Or calculation. With her, it was always hard to tell. You look terrible. Thank you. When did you last sleep? Last eat a real meal? Marcus shrugged. He did not remember. Days blended together in this place. That was the point. Admiral Chen leaned forward. I have a mission for you. No, you have not heard what it is. I do not need to hear. Marcus finished his drink and poured another. Find someone else. The war made many heroes. Go bother one of them. They are not you. Exactly. They are probably sane, functional, alive in ways that matter. The Admiral was quiet for a moment. Outside, a transport ship roared overhead, shaking the thin walls of the bar. When the noise faded, she spoke again. 3 weeks ago, a patrol ship found something at the edge of former Kethvari space. An escape pod, old design, very old. The technology inside was nothing we had ever seen before. Marcus said nothing. He stared at his glass. Inside the pod, the Admiral continued, was a girl. Alien. Not Kethvari. Not any species we have records of. She appears young, like a human teenager. Silver skin. Eyes that change color. She was in some kind of sleep for a very long time. Maybe thousands of years. Maybe longer. Interesting, Marcus said without interest. Give her to the scientists. The scientists are afraid of her. Everyone is afraid of her. Admiral Chen reached into her jacket and pulled out a small tablet. She placed it on the table. When she woke up, she spoke only once. She gave a set of coordinates, and then she said 3 words. Marcus looked at the tablet despite himself. What words? They are waking up. A cold feeling touched Marcus's spine. He ignored it. Who is waking up? We do not know. But every species in the galactic concord is terrified. The Rilari want her dead. The Vortan want her handed over for study. The Kethvari remnants claim she is a demon from their ancient myths. The Admiral's voice was steady, but her eyes were intense. Humanity has claimed protective custody. She is in a secure facility on Earth's moon right now, and you want me to guard her. She asked for you. Marcus blinked. That made no sense. He had never met any silver-skinned alien. He had never been to the edge of Kethvari space. That is not possible. I agree. And yet, Admiral Chen tapped the tablet. The screen lit up, showing a photograph of a message. The symbols were strange, flowing lines that seemed to move, even in the still image. Marcus had studied alien languages during the war. He recognized none of these. This was carved into the inside of her pod, the Admiral said. The language is older than any known civilization. Our best experts spent 2 weeks translating it. What does it say? Admiral Chen met his eyes. It says your name. Your full name. Your date of birth. Your military identification number. She paused. It also says that you will keep her safe, that you are the only one who can. Marcus stared at the message. The cold feeling in his spine had spread to his whole body. This was impossible. This was insane. But for the first time in 8 months, he felt something other than emptiness. He felt curiosity. He felt purpose. He felt afraid. When do we leave? He asked. Admiral Chen allowed herself a small smile. Now, the lunar facility had no windows. It was built deep under the moon's surface, hidden beneath layers of rock and metal. The hallways were white and clean. The lights were bright. Armed guards stood at every corner. Marcus counted 12 security checkpoints before they reached the main chamber. She has not spoken since we brought her here, Admiral Chen explained as they walked. She eats very little. Sleeps even less. Mostly she just sits and draws. Draws? You will see. They stopped at a heavy door. Admiral Chen pressed her hand against a scanner. The door hissed open. She stepped aside and gestured for Marcus to enter alone. I will wait here, she said. She asked for you. Not me. Marcus took a deep breath. His metal hand made a soft clicking sound as he clenched his fist. Then he walked through the door. The room was large and circular. White walls curved upward to a domed ceiling. In the center stood a simple bed, a small table, and a chair. Medical equipment lined one wall. Everything was clean and sterile. But the walls were not empty anymore. Marcus stopped and stared. Every surface was covered with glowing lines. They twisted and curved in patterns that hurt his eyes. Star maps, mathematical equations, images of planets and ships and creatures he had never seen. The girl had drawn them with her finger, somehow leaving trails of soft blue light wherever she touched. And in the middle of all this, sitting cross-legged on the floor, was the girl. She was small. If she were human, Marcus would have guessed 15 or 16 years old. Her skin was silver, smooth like polished metal, but soft like flesh. Her hair was white and floated slightly, as if she were underwater. Her eyes were the strangest part. They shifted colors constantly, blue to green to gold to purple, never stopping. She looked up when Marcus entered. She did not seem surprised. You came, she said. Her voice was soft and musical. Her English was careful, each word pronounced slowly. I knew you would. Marcus did not move closer. How do you know my name? I have seen you. She tilted her head. Many times. In many futures. You are always there. Fighting. Protecting. Refusing to stop. I do not understand. No, you will not. Not yet. She stood up slowly. She was thin, fragile-looking, but her eyes held something ancient, something heavy. "My name is Lyra. I am a keeper." A keeper of what? Memories, knowledge, warnings. She walked toward one of her drawings on the wall. It showed a dark shape, like a shadow with no source. "My people existed before yours, before the Kethvari, before any species you know. We watched, we recorded, we protected." Marcus studied the shadow drawing. It made him uncomfortable in a way he could not explain. "What happened to your people?" "What?" Lyra's eyes flickered. For a moment, they turned completely black. Then the colors returned. "They came," she whispered. "The silence. They found us. They destroyed everything. Everyone. I was put to sleep and sent away. Hidden, forgotten. For how long? 12,000 years. Marcus felt his chest tighten. 12,000 years. When this girl went to sleep, humans were still living in caves. They had not discovered writing, they had not built cities, and she had been floating in space, alone, waiting. "Why did you wake up now?" he asked. Lyra turned to face him. Her eyes were sad. "Because the silence is waking too. They sleep for long periods, thousands of years. Then they wake and hunt. They find species that are too loud, too bright, too alive, and they end them. End them how? Completely. They do not just destroy bodies. They destroy memories. History. Every trace that a species existed." Lyra hugged herself. She suddenly looked very young, very scared. They believe that consciousness is a mistake, that life is noise in a universe that should be quiet. They want to return everything to stillness, to nothing. Marcus thought about the coordinates she had given. Where does this lead? The Ember Vault. Lyra's eyes glowed brighter. It is hidden at the center of the galaxy. My people built it. Inside is everything we collected, every piece of knowledge, every memory, every weapon. She paused. If the silence finds it first, they will use it to destroy all life. Every species, every world, everything. The weight of her words pressed down on Marcus. He wanted to dismiss this as fantasy, as the delusions of a traumatized alien child. But he could not. Her eyes held too much truth. "Why me?" he asked. "You could have asked for anyone. Scientists, generals, people who understand these things. Why a broken soldier?" Lyra walked closer. She stopped just in front of him and looked up into his face. Her hand reached out and touched his chest, right over his heart. "Because you carry your dead with honor," she said softly. "I can feel them. Your friends, your soldiers. They live inside you. Most species abandon their ghosts. They run from pain. They forget." Her eyes shifted to a deep, warm gold. "You remember. You hold them close. That is rare. That is precious." Marcus felt something crack inside him. A wall he had built. A barrier he had maintained for 8 months. This strange girl saw right through it. "There is another reason," Lyra continued. She stepped back. "Your species, humans. Your minds are different. Loud. Chaotic. Full of noise. That sounds like an insult. It is not. It is your greatest gift." Lyra smiled for the first time. It transformed her face, made her look like a normal girl. "The silence cannot see clearly near humans. Your thoughts create interference. Static. When I am near you, they cannot find me." Suddenly, an alarm screamed. Red lights flashed. The ground shook. Lyra's smile vanished. Her eyes turned completely white. "They found me," she whispered. "They are here." Marcus grabbed her hand. "Then we run." The alarms would not stop screaming. Red lights painted everything in blood colors. Marcus pulled Lyra toward the door. His metal hand gripped her wrist firmly. but gently. He could feel her trembling. "Stay close to me," he said. "Do not let go." The door slid open. Admiral Chen stood outside with 2 guards. Her face was pale but controlled. "We have incoming ships. 3 of them." They appeared from nowhere. No warning. No signals. "The silence," Lyra whispered. "What do they look like?" Marcus asked. Before anyone could answer, the ceiling exploded. Marcus threw himself over Lyra. Debris rained down. Dust filled the air. One of the guards was crushed instantly. The other was screaming, his legs trapped under metal. Through the hole in the ceiling, Marcus saw something that made his blood freeze. A ship hung above them. But it was not like any ship he had seen. It was black. Not painted black. It was darkness itself. Light fell into it, and did not return. It had no visible engines, no weapons, no windows. It simply existed, like a hole cut in reality. From the ship, figures descended. They were tall and thin, wrapped in shadows that moved like smoke. Marcus could not see their faces. He was not sure they had faces. They made no sound. No footsteps. No breathing. They simply floated down, silent as death. "Run," Admiral Chen commanded. She pulled out her pistol and fired at the nearest figure. The bullets passed through it like it was made of fog. "Run!" Marcus did not argue. He grabbed Lyra and ran. The hallways blurred past. More alarms. More screams. More explosions. The facility was falling apart. The silence was tearing through it like paper. Marcus heard gunfire behind him. Then, nothing. He did not look back. He could not. "Left," Lyra gasped. "Turn left here." Marcus obeyed. He did not question how she knew. The corridor led to a stairwell. They climbed. His legs burned. His lungs ached. But he did not stop. "They are following," Lyra said. Her voice was strangely calm. "But slowly. They do not like being near you. Near me. Your mind. It hurts them." Lyra looked at him with those shifting eyes. "Think louder." Marcus did not understand. But he tried. He thought about his squad. He thought about their faces, their voices, their jokes before battle. He thought about the day they met and the day they fell. He filled his mind with memories, with grief, with rage. Behind them, something shrieked. It was not a human sound, not an animal sound. It was like glass breaking, and metal screaming, and silence itself being torn apart. "It is working," Lyra said. "Keep going." They reached the hangar level. Ships lined the floor. Transports, fighters, emergency pods. Most were damaged from the attack, but one ship remained intact. A small military cruiser, fast and armed. The name painted on its side read, "Last Word." "That one," Marcus said. They ran toward it. The hangar doors behind them exploded inward. 3 of the shadow figures entered. They moved faster now, their forms flickering like broken video. Marcus pushed Lyra toward the ship's ramp. "Get inside. Start the engines." "I do not know how." "Figure it out." He turned to face the shadows. His metal hand reached for the pistol at his hip. He knew bullets would not work. He did not care. He was done running. The lead figure stopped. It tilted what might have been a head. When it spoke, the voice came from everywhere and nowhere. It was cold, empty, like wind through dead trees. "You cannot protect her. She belongs to the quiet. All things return to the quiet." "Not today," Marcus said. He fired. The bullets passed through harmlessly. The figure laughed. It was the worst sound Marcus had ever heard. Then Lyra screamed. Light exploded from the ship behind Marcus. Blue and white and gold, brighter than anything he had seen. It washed over the hangar like a wave. The shadow figures recoiled. They writhed and twisted, their forms breaking apart like smoke in strong wind. Marcus turned. Lyra stood at the top of the ramp. Her eyes were pure white. Her hands were raised. Light poured from her like water from a broken dam. She was magnificent. She was terrifying. "Go back!" she shouted. Her voice echoed with 1,000 other voices. The voices of her people. The voices of the dead. "You will not have him. You will not have me." The shadow figures fled. They dissolved into darkness and retreated through the hole they had made. The black ships outside began to pull away. In seconds, they were gone. Lyra collapsed. Marcus caught her before she hit the ground. She was cold. So cold. But she was breathing. Her eyes flickered back to their shifting colors. "That was foolish," she whispered. "It worked. It cost me much. I cannot do that again. Not for many days." She looked up at him. "I need you, Marcus Cole. Near me. Always. Your mind shields me. Your chaos keeps me hidden." Marcus carried her into the ship. The engines hummed to life. Autopilot. Thank the stars for autopilot. As they rose from the ruined facility, Marcus looked down. The lunar base was destroyed. Fires burned. Bodies lay still. He thought of Admiral Chen. He did not know if she survived. He hoped she did. "Where do we go?" he asked. Lyra's hand found his. Her fingers were small and cold. "The Ember Vault. The center of the galaxy. It is the only way to stop them." "Send. That is a long journey." "Yes." Lyra closed her eyes. "But you will not be alone. I have seen it. Others will come. Others who refuse to be silent." Marcus set the coordinates. The ship jumped into faster-than-light travel. Stars stretched into lines around them. Behind them, somewhere in the dark, the silence was waiting. Watching. Preparing. The hunt had only begun. 3 weeks passed. 3 weeks of running. 3 weeks of hiding. 3 weeks of jumping from system to system, always one step ahead of the darkness. Marcus learned to sleep in shifts. 2 hours at a time. Never more. The nightmares came anyway. But now they were different. Instead of his squad dying, he saw the stars going dark. One by one, like candles blown out by cold wind. Lyra grew weaker each day. She ate little, spoke less. The light inside her was fading. Marcus could see it in her eyes. The colors changed slower now. Sometimes they stayed gray for hours. "We need help," Marcus said one morning. "We cannot do this alone." Lyra nodded. She was sitting by the window, watching space slide past. "I know. I have seen them. The ones who will come." "Who?" "People like you. Broken. Haunted. Refusing to surrender." She turned to look at him. A small smile touched her lips. Humanity has many such people. Their first ally found them at a fuel station on the edge of civilized space. Lieutenant Yuki Tanaka was waiting when Marcus stepped off the ship. She was tall and lean, with short black hair and a scar across her left cheek. Marcus had served with her during the war. She was the best pilot he had ever known. She was also supposed to be dead. "Hello, Commander," Yuki said. Her voice was calm. "You look terrible. I thought you were killed at Serpent's Reach." "Almost. I floated in space for 6 hours before rescue came. Lost my left lung. They grew me a new one." She shrugged. "I heard you were in trouble. Running from shadows. Protecting some alien girl. It sounded interesting." "It is not interesting. It is suicide." "Good. I was getting bored." Yuki walked past him and boarded the ship. "Nice to meet you," she said to Lyra. "I am your new pilot. Try not to get me killed." Their second ally came 2 days later. Dr. Samuel Okonkwo was a xenobiologist, 50 years old, gray beard, kind eyes behind thick glasses. He had spent his life studying alien species. He had written 12 books, he had won 3 major scientific awards, and he had given it all up when his family was killed in a Kethvari attack. "I have nothing left to lose," he explained when he joined them. "But I have much to give. Knowledge, experience, a steady hand in medical emergencies." He looked at Lyra with wonder, And I would very much like to understand what you are, young lady, if you would allow me. Lyra smiled at him. I will try to explain. It may take time. We have nothing but time. Their third ally was the most surprising. Rix was Kethvari. 7 feet tall. 4 arms. Skin like blue leather. Teeth like knives. During the war, his kind had killed millions of humans. They were the enemy, the monster under the bed, the nightmare made flesh. But Rix had defected. He had seen what his leaders were doing. He had refused to participate. He had fled to human space and surrendered himself. For 2 years, he had lived in a prison camp. Then the war ended, and he was released with nowhere to go. I have no home, Rix said in his deep, rumbling voice. My people call me traitor. Your people call me enemy. But I am neither. I am simply tired of death. He looked at Marcus with eyes like yellow moons. You fight against the darkness. The real darkness. I wish to help. The real darkness. I wish to help. The real darkness to starkness. The real darkness to starkness. Marcus studied him for a long moment. Every instinct screamed not to trust this creature. Rix's people had killed his squad. Rix's people had taken his arm, but Marcus had also seen what the silence could do. He had seen the shadow figures. He had felt the cold emptiness they carried. Compared to that, the Kethvari were almost friendly. Welcome aboard, Marcus said. Try not to eat anyone. Rix made a sound that might have been a laugh. I will try. They flew deeper into the galaxy. The Ember Vault waited at the center, hidden in a place where space itself bent and twisted. Lyra guided them. Her knowledge was ancient. But the stars had changed. Several times they hit dead ends, wrong turns, dangerous territories. The silence followed, always behind, always watching. They attacked twice more. Small strikes, testing, probing. Each time, Marcus and his crew fought back. Each time, they barely survived. During the second attack, Rix saved Marcus's life. One of the shadow figures had grabbed Marcus, its cold hands burning through his jacket. Rix charged with a roar that shook the walls. He could not hurt the shadow with physical force, but his rage, his fury, his burning desire to protect his new friends created something the silence could not stand. Emotional fire, mental noise. The shadow fled. Thank you, Marcus said afterward. We are crew now, Rix replied simply. Crew protects crew. On the 19th day, Lyra collapsed completely. They gathered around her bed. Dr. Okonkwo checked her vitals. His face was grim. She is fading. Whatever energy she used to protect us, she has almost none left. Can you help her? Marcus asked. I do not know. Her biology is unlike anything I have studied. She is not dying exactly. She is just dimming. Marcus sat beside Lyra. Her eyes flickered open. The colors were pale now, almost transparent. We are close, she whispered. The vault. I can feel it. But so can they. They are coming. All of them. Every ship. Every shadow. They will stop us. Let them try. Lyra reached up and touched his face. Her fingers were ice cold. You must call for help. Send a message. Tell the galaxy what is coming. Some will answer. I have seen it. And if they do not, then we fight alone, and we lose. Her eyes closed. But humans never call for help. It is not your nature. So stubborn. So proud. Marcus looked at his crew. Yuki. Samuel. Rix. Broken people. Former enemies. Strangers who had become family. Today we ask for help, he said. Prepare a transmission. All frequencies, all languages. The message went out, and the galaxy listened. Marcus stood at the bridge of the last word. Through the window, he could see the center of the galaxy. It was beautiful and terrifying. Stars clustered together like diamonds. Clouds of colored gas stretched for millions of miles. And somewhere in that chaos, hidden in folds of twisted space, waited the Ember Vault. But between them and the vault, darkness gathered. The silence had come. All of them. Hundreds of black ships hung in space like wounds in reality. They blocked the path forward. They swallowed the light around them. Marcus had never seen so many. He had never imagined so many existed. "We cannot fight that," Yuki said quietly. Her hands rested on the pilot controls. They were steady, but her voice was not. "We do not need to fight all of them," Marcus replied. "We just need to get through." Impossible. Probably. Behind them, the communication console beeped. Dr. Okonkwo checked it. His eyes widened. "Commander, you need to see this." Marcus walked over. The screen showed sensor data. Ships were arriving. Not silent ships. Other ships. Coming from every direction. "Who are they?" Marcus asked. "Everyone. The first to arrive were human vessels. Military cruisers. Colony defense ships. Private freighters armed with mining lasers. They came from Earth. From Mars. From stations scattered across human space. Admiral Chen's dreadnought led them, battered but still flying. She had survived. Then came the others. Kethvari warships dropped out of faster-than-light travel. Their hulls were painted with new symbols. Symbols of alliance. Of apology. Of hope. Behind them came Rillari scouts, small and fast. Vortan carriers. Massive and slow. Ships from species Marcus had never seen. Species that had heard the message. Species that had decided to answer. "They came," Lyra whispered. She had dragged herself to the bridge, leaning on Rix for support. Her eyes glowed faintly. "I told you. I saw it." The communication console crackled. Admiral Chen's voice filled the bridge. "Commander Cole, it seems you started a war without me." Marcus allowed himself a small smile. "Just a small one, Admiral. The fleet is ready. Every ship that could fly came. We do not know if we can win, but we know we cannot let that darkness spread." Her voice hardened. "Give us orders, Commander. This is your mission." Marcus looked at his crew. At Yuki, who had come back from death. At Samuel, who had lost everything but still chose to help. At Rix, who had abandoned his people to fight for strangers. At Lyra, who carried the weight of 12,000 years. "All ships," Marcus said into the communicator. "This is Commander Marcus Cole. The enemy before us wants silence. They want emptiness. They want to erase everything we are, everything we have built, everything we love." He paused. The fleet waited. "Today we show them what noise sounds like. Today we remind the universe that we exist. That we fight. That we do not go quietly." His metal hand clenched into a fist. "All ships. Attack." The battle began. Thousands of weapons fired at once. Light filled the darkness. The silent ships moved to intercept. They absorbed energy. They swallowed missiles. They tore through smaller vessels, like ghosts through walls. But the fleet did not stop. They kept coming. Kept firing. Kept pushing forward. Marcus watched a human frigate ram directly into a silent ship. Both exploded. A Kethvari carrier sacrificed itself to create an opening. Rillari pilots flew suicide runs into enemy formations. Species that had been enemies for centuries now fought side by side. "The path is opening," Yuki reported. "I can get us through. But it will be close." "Non. Do it." The last word dove into the chaos. Yuki flew like Marcus had never seen. She dodged debris. She weaved through explosions. She scraped past silent ships so close that Marcus could see the darkness rippling on their hulls. They broke through. The Ember Vault waited ahead. It looked like a small moon made of crystal and light. Ancient symbols covered its surface. Energy pulsed inside it like a heartbeat. "I need to go inside," Lyra said. "Alone." "No." Marcus shook his head. "I am coming with you." "Marcus." The vault requires a keeper's sacrifice. My life force will activate it. Release its knowledge to every mind in the galaxy. Tears formed in her shifting eyes. You cannot save me from this. Watch me. They landed on the vault's surface. Marcus carried Lyra through corridors of crystal. The walls showed images of the past. Civilizations rising and falling. Species being born and dying. The keepers watching it all. They reached the center. A pedestal of pure light waited. Lyra placed her hand on it. The vault hummed. Goodbye, Marcus Cole, she said. Thank you for carrying me this far. No. Marcus grabbed her other hand. You said the vault needs life force. Energy. Noise. He thought about what she had told him. About human minds, about chaos and static, and the things that made the silence afraid. Take mine too, he said. Take everything I have. Every memory. Every ghost. Every scream I have held inside. It could destroy you, or it could save you. Lyra stared at him, then she smiled. The most beautiful smile he had ever seen. Stubborn human, she whispered. The light exploded. Marcus felt everything pour out of him. His squad, his pain, his love, his rage, his hope. 12,000 years of keeper memories, mixed with one human lifetime of noise. It was too much. It was not enough. It was exactly right. The vault activated. Knowledge burst across the galaxy like a sunrise. Every mind felt it. Every species understood. The silence screamed as the light touched them. Their ships cracked. Their shadows dissolved. They fled into the void, broken and beaten. Marcus opened his eyes. He was lying on the crystal floor. Lyra lay beside him. Breathing. Alive. How? He asked. You were loud enough for both of us. She laughed weakly. The loudest sound in the universe. Outside, the fleet was cheering. The silence was gone. The galaxy was saved. And Marcus Cole, the broken soldier who had wanted to die, finally had a reason to live. The end.